So my focus for today is this bracket mounts on the front portion of the rear plastics. It's what sits down over the frame, sort of like this, and then there's bolts that hold it in. But because I'm going to be using a hinge for the back plastic so I can get a Kickstarter, and that's something you want to access often, my initial thought was I was going to make like a spring pin type thing that would say weld onto here, same thing on this side. So you would pull the pins, this would go down over the frame, you let the pins go, boom, they would just go into the holes there. I couldn't really find anything I wanted to use, like ready-made kind of thing, and because I kind of wanted this to sit a bit more securely up front, because the back is on the hinge and it's not really mounted at the point where the seat and stuff sits on the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mounting hardware that goes through here and mounts this to the frame, and what I want to do is I want to round these off a bit better so that they fit down inside these wing nuts. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up inside the wing nuts, tack them together, and so then I'll have an easy way of just twisting one of these out, twisting the other side out, flipping the seat up, kicking the bike over, put it back down, 2 wing nuts, put it back in, we're good to go. So that's what I'm going to work on today. See that the wing nut fits down over the head of the bolt. It goes down flush to the washer part of the bolt. So now I'll just plug weld that in, and we should be good to go. So I'll do the same for both, and then we'll go ahead and we'll look at modifying our plate so it goes down around that portion of the tank that it was touching last time. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and plug weld these. And this way we now have these turned into, I guess, wing bolts. Yeah, fuck, I don't know, whatever. Either way, time to weld. I'm going to hit the first one again just a tiny bit more. There's one little spot there, and then we should be good. And that's that, and I'll let them cool off, and I'll hit them with a bit of black paint just so they don't corrode over time. And we should be good to fit up our bracket and see where we got to make a cut. So we got them all tacked together, all plug welded. So as always, with bare metal, we're going to hit these with some d'après auto dégradation, or self-etching primers. Here we go. Like before, just a light coat, enough to cover them, let them dry, and then we'll hit them with a bit of paint. So now that the etching primer is pretty much dry on top of these, I'm just going to hit them with a bit of this metallic titanium silver. It's the same stuff I used on the bike for like the rims and the axle sleeves and the handlebars and stuff like that. So just have it on the chair in front of the heater drying. Either way, quick coat of this and we should be good to go. Those look to be good and covered. Put them back down in the heat. We'll move on to chopping that piece out of our seat bracket. So while the etching primer is drying on our new wing bolts, gonna have a look at where I want the bracket sitting around the tank. So I'm pretty sure that before, when the seat was, you know, stationary, this would have actually sat like this. So the back part of the tank would have rested on top of this bracket, and that's why the screw that's there for this is really long. That, or whoever had it before me just had it done that way. But because I need this bracket sitting above this, because this is going to be hinging with our seat now, I had to go ahead and mark it. So I laid it on and matched it up with where the holes are, and then I just went ahead and took a marker and marked this. So now while that's dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and grind it, and then hit it with a bit of paint, etching primer and paint where I had to cut it down to bare metal, and we'll see how it fits. So I've gone ahead and I've marked where I want to cut out. I'm going to cut in directly straight into the line, and then try to come back and cut those little tiny pieces out, and we'll clean it up with a little grinding attachment on the air die grinder. Okay, so now we got that cut out. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up with our little grinder. Okay, let's check it out. So now when we put this in place, you see, line up this hole here, we should have lots of clearance now between the tank. And the tank's actually going to go ahead another 1/4 inch as well. So we'll have lots of clearance between this and the tank. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to hit this with a quick bit of etching primer and then a bit of black paint, and we should be good to get our seat mounted up. So I'm going to go ahead and get the seat and fender assembly put together. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to mount the new hinge to the underside of this. That way it's in place and mounted here. And the next thing we're going to do is mount this onto the seat, bolt that all up, and then we can go ahead and mount the other side of the hinge onto the bike, and we should be good to go. So here we go. Okay, so now that we got the hinge mounted to the bottom, we can go ahead, flip it over, get the seat pushed up through, and get the seat attached. Okay, so now that the bracket's on, I can go ahead and mount it up to the bike. lastly, we just have our wing nuts, and we should be good to go. Here we go, nice and snug. We'll give it a little sit on it now, make sure it feels solid. Yeah, feels good. Feels good. Okay, let's move on and get our levers sandblasted now. I have a black one and a silver one. They're the same, but they're a different color. So I'm going to sandblast them and clear them. I want to use them like that. That was black. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Oh, the compressor's probably going to kick in very shortly too, so it might get loud. So I've come to the decision that I think I want these black instead of just this silver with a clear coat on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang them up, or hang up all the parts, hit them with some etching primer, and then we're going to hit them with some flat black like we did for the other brackets and whatnot. So let's get her set up. Okay, so we give this stuff a wipe down, some acetone, so spray the paint, and then we're going to go ahead and hit it with some etching primer, and then we'll hit it with the flat black paint. That should be enough for etching primer. So let's dry, we'll come back and we'll hit it with some paint. It started to rain really hard, so I moved my snow blower and my quad back into the garage. You can see. Cover it up because it's under where I'm painting. So either way, let's whack a bit of black paint on this, and we'll leave it overnight to dry. That should be good for coat number 1. Pick it up again tomorrow once this coat's dry. Get coat number 2 on.